He used to call me Vash, and I used to call him Dada. Hello, sir. I'm a great fan of yours. My tea is as old as time. I will not get into retail therapy and spend money. And once we have fulfilled our dream, we said, okay, those who are near and dear to us, they should also fulfill our dreams.
Welcome to Abed Podcast. This is episode 16. In this podcast, our message is to help you guys with the personal development, trying to find your business success, whether it is a career development or diving into the entrepreneurship, and also the how you can use the travel for your own expanding your horizon, getting more experiences, understanding the culture around you. Today, I'm thrilled to welcome back a returning guest, Vasant. In his previous episode, he left us inspired and intrigued for some areas he did not touch, or he touched very briefly. So today we will try to get more details from him. Let's keep it that way. In addition to that, I was excited to receive some of your comments and questions, and this is what we will start this episode with. Welcome back to Abed Podcast, Vasant.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me again here, and pleasure meeting you.
For the people who missed your previous episode, I will put the link somewhere here for you guys to see it. Introduce yourself for the new audiences here.
Well, my name is Vasant. I'm a business catalyst. I have been all over the world. I have been advising company on how to grow, how to position their products, how to scale their business, and how to establish themselves in the world market. So this is what my bread and butter, and this is what I love, and I'm very passionate about what I do. So, yeah.
In this episode, I have a plan for you.
Oh.
So it's not questions anymore, it's a plan.
Okay.
We will address some of the questions from our listeners who had shared it on the comment section. You are welcome again to share with us your comments on the comment section below in this video. And then we will address two pillars that we have spoken about off air. Because you have told me something about writing a book, and there was a story behind it. Hold your horses, your horses. We will talk about it in the due time. So also, in my last episode, I have published it. I shared with our audiences the plan how to audit 2024 and how to plan for a successful or winning 2025. So, and we will touch some of the points here also in this episode. So
Wonderful.
Without further ado, let's start here with the first question. The first question was about building the business process. How can any new entrepreneur can benefit from building the processes itself?
Building the process is an integral part of any business. And processes is that when you conceive a product, you have to look at how the product is built over a period of time. Let's say you talk about the software. If you're talking about a particular model, then you have to focus on product development, features that the product is offering you, and how that entire journey goes about it. Let's say you have a business, you want to scale it up, also to levels. Without having these processes in place, you will not be able to scale it. And for that matter, you have to have a system in place. You have to have processes in place. You have to have what you can say this. The fundamentals have to be very strong. Let's say if you are working on the development of system or software, the coding, the platform under which it is going to work. Those are very important.
Let's take two scenarios, because the standard operation procedure, it can fall into two categories. If it's a startup or a small company and a mid-sized organization.
Yeah.
Now, let's take the first scenario where it is a startup, or if it is a small business which is 5-15 employees.
Okay.
maybe they will at that time of establishing the business, they've been focusing only on the product and how they reach the client. So where is the standard of operation can help them, and where they need to focus on?
So there are two scenarios. One is startup, and one other spin up, which is it is generating revenue.
Yes.
And the startup, you come up with an ideations, and then ideation you're bringing into a test modules, whether the ideation is translated into revenue, or because some ideas are good for a book, for a presentation, but some of the ideas are not workable in a real life world. Okay, just the other day I was having a meeting with somebody in Germany, and he has a wonderful ideas for oil and gas, but oil and gas, most of the projects are $1 billion, and he said, I will come up with these fossil fuels, I will sanitize, I will clean up the systems and rigs and all. And I said, do you have this is a prototype, this is still a concept, but you need to translate that concept into real actions. Then he said, I need fundings for it. Then only then I can bring it to a real life. So ideations at that stage. Okay, if you can create a product that that how those products are actually take shape. So for a startup company, the key to success is to have the right investors who will believe in your idea. Okay. For a spin up, the thing is that you have to develop a system which works on its own. Okay. So if you talk about 4 or 5 component of the business, is product. Second is the personality. Third one is the system. And the fourth one is a leverage. Okay. So product, if you may have a great product, okay, but if you don't have a system which can run the product, okay, then the product will collapse. Okay. So the personality who is selling that product, who is running the show, he can be good, but he can bring in revenue. But those are all short-lived.
Okay.
Okay. But a company which has to go into places, who has to be a bellwether company in future, then it has to work in a system which has to work on automation. It has to work on so in a way that irrespective of the persons who are running the show, it performs on its own, and it has a life and grows in a very exponential way.
I respect the point of having the standard of operation in place, but as per the company growth and started to have revenues, eventually it will hire more people. You will find people, more positions have been structured in a different way. But for the people who are starting it from scratch, or they are on the small scale, where they should focus to put these standards, is it in developing the product, or the procedures, in getting the inquiries, delivering the product, or where exactly?
For them, when a startup, when the ideators of a startup company, they come up with a product, they know that what is the journey that goes into, or what is the steps that takes to form that product.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So what they do is that when they take that ideations to an investor, they have to show a robust system, because if the system is not in place, how? Because having a product in mind is one way. The other thing is that how you are defining the process which will ensure that the product is manufactured in a most effective way, complying with the internal and external rules. Because what happens, as a company, you are obsessed with your products, but that product is not complying with the rule of the land.
Understood. Yeah.
Okay. So you have to be very mindful about the internal and external environment under which product is going to perform.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. One of our guests in a previous episode, he was mentioning about not getting emotionally attached to the idea of your product, because as you said, maybe the product that you will develop, spend time on it, is against the rules of
Correct.
and regulation.
That's exactly, because what happens? You are producing some product, okay, which are violating the environmental laws. Okay, in steel sector, there is something called hot dip galvanizing. Okay, it is a very this process is banned in many places. Like in US, you don't get hot dip being manufactured in US. So US is banned. So they are buying a lot of things from outside. Okay. So you have to be very careful about environmental protection, the rules, and you are not disturbing the ecosystem. And the product per se is good, but product, apart from complying with the rules, it has to be also be marketable.
Marketable, yes.
So again, having an idea is fine, but having commercial value, marketability is very important. Otherwise, the company will not grow, because you will not be able to get revenue, and without revenue, we are not going to move an inch further.
One of the advantages of having a standard operation on place, it will take the repetitive work from the creator of this business, and will allow him to, or will give him more time, or will buy him more time to focus on the more the creative way of expanding the company, hiring the right people, etc. And one of the benefits as well, maybe one of the takeaways of this section or this part of the question, once you have standard operation in place, you will have less defect percentage of your product.
Absolutely. So, in our previous podcast, we discussed about having the standard operating process SOPs in place.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Having a SOP in place, that means you are adhering to the standard rules of the product manufacturing. So you are not deviating from the established standards.
Yes.
Okay.
Or even the industry standards.
Industry standard. If it's a ASTM standards, if ASTM is complying, you are complying, then there are certain rules.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. If you are deviating, then there will be product deformities. If the product deformities, that means you are not being able to sell in the market. If you are not able to sell in the market, that means you are not being able to retain your customer. Everything is a cascading impact. So if you're not retaining your customer, then repeat business, so you are
out of business.
Out of the business.
Yeah.
So the point I was trying to make is, as you said, automation is very key, so that some of the repetitive works can be controlled, and you are bringing process efficiency into your manufacturing process.
Having the standard of operation, by the way, I've seen it in many sectors, which has a lot of moving parts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There is a lot of industries, or let's say business sectors, have a lot of moving parts, which is anything can go wrong. So having a standard of operation procedure in that place at least will safeguard you from the, how can I say, expected mistakes or expected problems.
Absolutely. Here you have to keep in mind the collaborators who are working with you.
Yes.
Okay. There can be suppliers, the material you are buying from, which are finally the inputs for your product.
Yes.
So they are playing very key roles. Let's say take example of Apple. Apple is, most of the products are manufactured by, let's say, Foxconn, Pentacron, or So a lot of the Taiwanese companies who are setting shop in India and China, Taiwan, Vietnam. So what they do is that they are the one who Apple is outsourcing most of their activities to these companies.
True.
Okay. And they are in turn are making all the parts and giving back to Apple corporations. Okay. So if these collaborators are not working in tandem, then the Apple cannot retain that brand value.
Agree.
So
I will add a spin.
Yeah.
On this part, I'll take it in the personal level.
Yeah.
If you have a standard procedure implemented successfully at the workplace, why did you do the same thing for your life? Meaning, I know you're shaking your head, but again, Meaning is, and this is inspired by the last video, the last episode, which is I encourage you guys to look for it. It's the how you're gonna manage your financing, investment, and career. So buying habits, you can put a standard operation for it. You would not call it standard of operation, but you will control it. You know what it means? I know people for fact how they implemented this. They hold their luxury buying for the seasons when it comes Black Fridays, whatever it is, shopping festivals or something like that. So they wait for that occasions to do the unnecessarily buying.
So,
So this is one of them. What's your take on this one?
this is a human tendency, okay? Some people, they don't wear. Their priorities, depending on their priorities,
Yes.
okay? At 5 o'clock, they have to go out for jogging, irrespective of the weather, irrespective of the, their mood. Every day, 5 a.m. in the morning, they will go out and do jogging.
I'm still asleep at 5:30.
Yeah. So this is a discipline that they're bringing to their life.
Okay.
And same thing they're bringing in their real life with austerity. Okay.
Interesting.
Economic mindset, they tend to spend less. They're very frugal, eater. They don't go out and to a big restaurant, fancy restaurant, and splurge money there. So what do they do? They instead, they think, okay, I will buy some books. Okay, I will not get into retail therapy and spend money.
I like retail therapy.
Yeah.
I like
So every human being is different.
True.
So depending on what they like, a lot of people they said, okay, I will go and buy a fancy camera, and I'll go out there in the lakes and I'll take this bird photos. It all depends on the deep pockets. At the same time, it all depends on your appetite for spending more. And how much is too much? You have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So a lot of people, they said, no, I'm going to put my money in the bricks and cement, which is like I'm going to put investment in the real estate.
Yes.
Other things are not real estate. Is just I can always live in a rented home because why should I block my capitals in bricks and cement, which is not going to give me that kind of returns. So it's a different topic altogether.
I agree, but implementing the principles of it, like let's say if you have a career job, let's say, okay, and you have a monthly salary comes in the end of the month, what are you gonna do with this salary? Having that mindset in place, I wouldn't call it standard procedure, but I will have it like, I will title it like financial education.
Okay.
So you will have your salary came in. What are you gonna do with it? Are you gonna go for, how did you call it, retail therapy?
Retail therapy.
Would you go for retail therapy? I don't know. Is it the wise thing to do? I don't know. It's up to you. But implement the best practices. Have your necessary stuff paid off. Bills, rent, whatever it is have been required from you. Having like a pocket for saving, probably.
Yeah.
What is the percentages is up to you. And then maybe invest, whether it's in your new skills, knowledge, buy a necessary book, or equipment that will help you to improve your income.
In my 25 years outside India, I have traveled a lot. As I said the other day, I have seen different kind of peoples. Some people they focus on their career. Some people think that okay, I need to have this basic mathematical knowledge. And I can work with the basic mathematics. Some said, no, I need to get into the quantum mathematics. I need to get into this. I need to do PhD. Every section of the society, they have their own philosophy. Now, likewise, I come from Indian lineage, and then I find that most Indians, they have a tendency to save money because they always look for the futures while compromising their current state. But if you go to Russia, if you go to some of those Belarus, those countries, They live for today. They earn today. They live for today. They don't know anything about tomorrow.
True.
Who they say like who knows tomorrow?
Yeah.
So whereas the Indians they got a tendency, okay, I have to save for my next generation, next generations. I mean, so both are faulty at time. But then coming back to your question, if I have more money, if I have, let's say, then my priority will change depending on what I want to do with that money. Depending, again, it's a needs and wants.
Yes.
Okay, whether I have finished my needs, basic needs. If the basic needs is over, then I aspire for more.
Yes.
So, as a student, we couldn't afford more fancy brand stuff.
Gadgets or equipment or machines like
Correct.
tablets, laptops.
Correct. So we had only one pair of shoes, and then today we can think about Jordan. We can think about various, Under Armour, all the big expensive shoes.
True.
And then that's again, once your needs are over, you're looking for more. So we all tussle between the needs and wants.
Agreed. Let's move to the second question. The second question came, and this is exactly ask about the 5 C's analysis framework. Would it apply to SMEs as it's corporate business? And for the people who don't know what is the 5 C's, they are the company, collaborators, customers, competitors, and context. When you create a company, these are the 5 C's of a framework that you think about it when you're starting a company.
5 C's is a business framework we all know, and those of us, whenever we do into decision making, business decision making, marketing decision making, we always think about it should be independent of individual whims. Okay, let's say you own a company. It's not that tomorrow you get up in the morning and you don't know, I have to do this, I don't know. There has to be certain rules, certain boundaries. Okay. So if we can explain one by one, let's say company. Okay. I start with company, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So company, as a company, you need to know your USP. You need to know what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses. This is not the same as SWOT, but this you have to be very particular about your product strength, your financial strength, how strong you are when it comes to your financial backbone. What kind of policies that you have set out for your company and how you're going to translate your ideas into real action. So the company is very important. And like Apple, Apple, they were very sure about what they're going to do because and how they have implemented their programs and how they become a most valued company in the world. So you have to retain your brand value. So you have to know your brand value and act accordingly. So the next is
collaborators.
Okay. Collaborator, again, I think we briefly mentioned some time back. Collaborators are the one who are going to help you make your product.
True.
Okay, they are the one who are going to be, foot soldiers. Let's say collaborator will be your vendor company.
Let's take a real life example here so people can relate. If somebody have been working enough in the, let's say, the retail business or as an operation on F&B, food and beverage.
Okay.
So after 15 years, he decided okay, I have the knowledge, I know the market. I'm trying to venture out to open my small restaurant, whether it is for a local food or a specialty food or something like that.
Okay.
So first, he needs to look at the company itself. What's his message?
So let's say he has worked in F&B sector, so he wants to open a coffee shop.
For example, a coffee shop, yeah.
Then he has to look at what kind of a coffee that I want to serve, or let's say what kind of tea. Okay. If it's a tea, there is Darjeeling tea, organic tea, right? Then he has to do about how he can be different from the other guy who is in the same business.
Yes.
Okay. From where he should
source out the
teas, other things. That becomes collaborator.
That's why I gave this example because then it will make sense to show who's the collaborators and this.
Tomorrow he will say, okay, my tea is as old as time.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a selling point.
Yeah. I mean, he can come up with ideas to so that I'm different from my competitor.
Okay.
Okay, this is my brand value. I want to preserve it. Okay, I want to be. It's like wine,
Yeah.
So tea is also like wine.
True.
Okay, so then he has to source those first flush. If it's in Darjeeling, first flush, second flush, and then he has to create a story around his tea, that it has come from the higher elevations.
Yeah, it's there. People, they use
Higher
that as an angle.
elevations.
Yeah.
Because higher elevation teas are more tasty, and the first plus is like more.
So sourcing it is one of the
So
collaborators.
sourcing is the one of the collaborators, and distributors are the other collaborators.
Okay.
Let's say example about McDonald's. Okay, McDonald's 95% of the business are all collaborators.
95%.
95% of the business are all collaborator, because let's say you go to your neighborhood McDonald's shop outlets, and you find that that is owned by somebody locally.
Yes.
Not McDonald's.
Yeah, no.
So,
It's a franchise has been.
correct. So
yeah.
there's a franchise or collaborator from McDonald's,
Interesting.
right?
Yeah,
Like that. Even Apple, there are a lot of collaborators. Apple, they don't sell their product directly.
They don't sell it directly?
Yeah, I mean, majority, more than 60-70% are through local collaborators.
Local agents, yeah. Local agents around. But a lot of people, they sometimes they don't think that. No, let me rephrase it in a different way. Collaborators is, think about it, people or entities that they will work with you to deliver your product.
Not necessarily always. Okay.
No,
let's say
your cup of tea.
Let's say, okay, cup of tea is a product.
Yes.
Okay. For cup of tea,
To
what
reach
are
your end client.
Ingredients are tea,
Tea and
tea
hot
leaves.
water.
Okay, tea leaves, hot water.
Yeah.
Okay.
A cup. If
Then
it is a
then the tea bag. Okay.
tea bag, yes.
And then
The kitchen
cup,
behind it.
the crockery cutleries.
Yes.
Okay. And then what? So there are suppliers here involved. Then there are, what is the main ingredient? The tea leaves. Okay, those are very important.
These are all collaborators.
They're all collaborators. Then you're distributing.
Yes. We move to the customers now.
Yeah.
Reaching to the customers as well, it will use collaborators as well. Talabat. It's collaborator.
They're
right?
collaborators, right? Very good example.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's one of the collaborators. That's why I see a lot of F&Bs, like small businesses who are in coffee shops, restaurants, and so on. First thing they try to secure is their agreement with the delivery companies, regardless who are, because it's one of their collaborators. And this is the trend happened after COVID.
Yes, after COVID, this gig business has
A lot of things
grown
have been
exponentially.
changing. It's true. It's true. So customers, let's focus on the customer section now.
So the customers are customers is the something who you're working around the customers.
True.
Because your basic objective behind the business is to solve a customer's problem or serve a customer's needs, right?
Exactly.
So the customer, let's say for tea business or any other business, there will be competitors. There will be so there will be different kind of customers. You should see that how you are meeting their needs. What is their key focus? You have to understand the basic.
And this is one of the main things my digital company focus on. Really, exactly. Is to find the customer for each product, because the market is flooded.
There's different segments.
Exactly.
Coming back to again tea, if you can elaborate more on the tea.
There we go.
Let's say, okay, tea business itself, when you eat tea, you're having this podcast, you're having tea. Okay. Oh, this is coffee, by the way.
Yeah.
But tea, okay, or coffee, a beverage.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say tomorrow you come up with an idea that all the airlines in the world, I want to be their first choice for tea. Right. So I'll go out and pitch to all the airlines. Okay, it's $1 billion business. Okay, I will go to all these embassies. And see that, okay, if I'm going to Turkey's embassies, I said, okay, can you promote in Turkey's airlines my tea? I will go to Emirates. I'll do. I'll go to Indian Airlines. I'll say, okay, this comes from the Darjeeling. Why don't you promote Darjeeling tea in Indian Airlines? Okay.
Makes sense.
Like that, there is a poetry In Western world, you see that there is a book exhibitions, poetry readings and all. There you can go and promote your tea. So there you're going to be customer. Those are the segments that you have to tap.
True.
Likewise, there was a Sharjah book fair.
Yeah.
You find there's a congregation, there's a million people, they come and, so there you promote your tea. They are your customer.
And then you will find your competitors. And
Then you find
is
a competitor.
And this is what is the fourth C, is the competitors.
It's a competitor. So you have to be ahead of the game, ahead of the curve. You have to understand how your competitors is working in the market,
Yes.
what kind of pricing policy they're working, what kind of innovative ideas they're coming up, what kind of distribution channels they are using.
And this is interesting. In our domain, in the digital marketing domain, I have noticed that 2 months ago, a certain brand, a washing powder, they have started the marketing campaign.
Okay.
And believe it or not, the next day, I have seen their ad for their competitor. Not only that, they try to match the same level of celebrity who came on without mentioning the name.
This is ambushing marketing.
But it's the same. Look how competitors they do. Like they watch you, what you do, and they try either surpass you or at least be on bar with you. So that's interesting.
It all happened in the mid-90s where there's a Coca-Cola and Pepsi, they were fighting for the same market.
Yes.
And they used to have ad like somebody has gone, there's a fountain, one is a Coke and the other one is a Pepsi. I said, no, I'm not liking Pepsi, I will go with the Coke, and then he walks off. So in a way, you are promoting your brand at the expenses of your competitor.
True. But still, they will get
This is
negative marketing.
Yes,
Negative marketing is a good marketing, by the way, for the
Yeah.
people doesn't know. Somebody will criticize your product. Sometimes will bring eyeballs to it.
Yeah.
Moving to the fifth C, context.
Context, a lot of people, they say climate. Okay, what is the external factor that is impacting your business? Okay. Let me give you a live example, right, which is happening right now. After Trump's re-elections, he has come up with a lot of tariff plans.
Yes.
Okay, he said if you are coming from so and so country, and if you are dumping in my country, I'm going to impose
Tariffs against you.
tariff against you. The latest threat is tariffs on the BRICS country. The BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, and South Africa. They are the main core of that bloc. Actually, if you are creating a new currency, I'm going to impose 100% tariff on your product.
Yes.
So this is one of the way where the external environment is impacting your business.
Yes.
That may not be applicable for tea business, because we are staying in the tea business.
Yes.
Okay. But then tomorrow, let's say you are getting your tea, you're trying to position your tea, you and trying to sell in the tea in the European Union. European Union has certain norms for organic tea. Okay. They say if your tea has been certified as organic, the certification has to come from Switzerland. Okay, which is a very expensive affair. Sure, I mean, everything. So this is an external environment which is not, this is beyond you.
True.
So context or climate is important in your business decision framework.
Let's say it's like relevancy to the rules and regulation.
Yes, you have to, because the entire world is now in one ecosystem. We are all interconnected.
Yeah, like take the ISOs, for example.
Yeah.
ISOs standards is implemented everywhere.
Correct. We are interconnected. They will, and they'll all look for the traceability of the products. If you are growing tea in India or Sri Lanka, they will say, okay, where is this coming from? Okay, this is so and so tea. That means we will see whether they are actually organic tea. If it's organic tea, where it was certified. It was not certified by our European Union. Then maybe they are employing child labor. They are employing fertilizers or whatever they use in the soil. So there are certain norms, and we have to be under those norms. we cannot seem to be looking that we are flouting those norms. So the external environment plays a key role in overall for business framework and your marketing decisions.
Interesting. I'll move to the next question now. One of the questions as well came was: is travel important in business? One, and how you get the most out of business trip?
Well, travel is always important, but there is other side to it. During the COVID time, most of the companies saved a lot of money on travels.
Yes.
So business travel is important, and you learn a lot of things. You meet a distant stranger who was your customer till the other day, and they become your friend. So business travel comes in various form. Let's say. We are having AbedPod here, and AbedPod for millions of people are coming from all over the world.
True.
I could see that this time there was a record number of people visited UAE at that point of time. So you go for a business travel for a one-on-one meeting with your prospective customer, or you are serving them. You may be visiting for let's say trade exhibitions, or you may be visiting to deliver a lecture. It depends. So business travel is always very important. But post-COVID, it has given a complete new dimension. Now, some of the business travels you can avoid. It all depends. What level of marketing penetration that you need, and what are your key objectives, and when you are on the road, it's no easy, because you're living out of suitcase, and every day you have to take a note, you have to pitch to your prospective customer, you have to answer their questions. You are the ambassador of your company in different places.
This is one angle.
Yeah.
Now, if we take you as an example,
Okay.
tomorrow you're going for a business trip, okay, to go attend a conference, or deliver a meeting, or not deliver a meeting, attend a meeting. It's going to be for 2 days.
Okay.
How we can get the best out of these 2 days?
Okay, the first thing is how you can get the best out of your given
These 2
time.
days. You have locked in times.
Okay.
Let's say your exhibition is from this hour to this hour, or your meeting is from this hour to this hour of the day. How you can get the most out of this business trip?
Okay. Nowadays things are different, because when you plan your trip, it depends on which geographical location that you are going to.
Okay.
How it is sync with your time zone. Okay. If it is in a different time zones, what is the time difference between your base locations and your away locations? Let's say if I have to go to US, then I have to have I will have a jet lag, so I have to ensure that my jet lag is not impacting my first day at work.
Yes.
Okay, so I have to plan my travels in such a way that I use my night and those sleep time accordingly. This is one. The second thing is that have your meetings in such a way that they don't run over each other's, because after every meeting you need some me time to assess that how you have fared in your meeting, what are the next line of actions, and then you have to prepare for the next meeting. So you don't over exhaust yourself. At the same time, you have to look good in front of your customers, and you have to, because you are representing your customers. So
Obviously.
Second thing. Third thing is that plan well in advance. Okay, if you are going for 2 days overseas trip, you need to have your agendas in place at least a month before, and you need to communicate your with your prospective customers in such a way that you are all aligned. So
unpack that more. Explain it more.
let's say you get a 30 minutes only meeting time with your prospective customer, okay, and you have 5-6 topics to be discussed. One of them is the pricing policies. So the pricing policy has to be communicate it to your customers that suppose we are having a new company, so you have a penetrating pricing policy. So, you communicate those in advance so that you don't waste your time on your policy decisions. Just you use that 30 minutes time that is allocated to you is in the negotiations. Okay, some of the follow-up things will take place once you are back in office, but use the maximum from those 30 minutes that are allotted to you, not on the pleasantries, not on those things. Bang on, start your meetings from the
With a critical point.
very critical, because this is the decision making, because you are a decision maker in your office, and you have to make a difference through your presence. Otherwise, it was good. Zoom call was good. Why did you spend so much money to just go there? So
Maybe networking.
networking, networking was in the past. You are having those meetings, one-on-one meeting. This is way after the networking. Networking, you go to the exhibitions where you meet hundreds of people.
Agree and I disagree.
Yeah.
How? Now you are, and this is the second part of the question, or the other angle of the question. You have done your meetings, but since you are in that country, irrespective what's the country it is, how you can capitalize on the knowledge of that country? Exploring more avenues.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you locked in with one meeting or one exhibition fair or whatever it is. How you can expand your personal understanding of that country, or exploring the culture by yourself. This is another way, because people, they tend to go for these business meetings, get exhausted with back-to-back meetings, and then calling back base, and then going for a dinner. So they reach the end of the day, done. I just want to collapse and sleep.
So, it's something. I like what you're saying. During the pandemic, what has happened? Just recently, I met a gentleman. He said, every day I was visiting one country. I said, how was that? I said, I will go to YouTube and search today is Austria, tomorrow is US, then is Thailand, and then fourth day, I will just, virtually, I will travel all over the world to just get a feel of, this 40 movies. So he said, every day I will go to another country and watch 2 hours video of that country.
Okay.
So what happens? Over the period, we all have accumulated enough knowledge to make an opinion about each country. Okay.
Yes.
So in an interconnected world, everyone knows that if I go to Georgia, I'm supposed to eat a particular food. Okay. And then if I go to India, it is all masala stuff.
Yeah.
If I go to Thailand,
There's set of food that you
they
eat.
have their local cuisines. So few things in business remains the same. Each geographical region has got their own set of taste preference, but the business rules are the same for everyone. Okay, it is give and take. You are meeting someone's demand at a cost.
True.
So those transactional discussions, relationship remains. They are the professional friend. They can never be, substitute for a real friends.
Agree from this point. Fine. So I think that was the end of the questions, guys, you have shared with us in the previous episode. Feel free to put your comments on the next on this episode, whatever question that you have in mind. Now, moving forward to the other topic, so we are not running out of time again. Going into 2025 with a plan to succeed, sometimes is not only the plan, sometimes it's the eagerness, is the leadership spirit inside you. So sometimes leadership, it's a critical component inside each of us.
Of course.
To succeed in 2025. What is leadership role in planning for succeeding in 2025, whether it's in a personal level or a career or business, from your point of view?
Well, leadership, we all think who's leader? Let's answer that question.
Okay.
For me, everyone is leader unless they prove it otherwise. Okay.
How is that?
So in an organizations, it is not always the those who are
Holding bigger positions.
bigger position, having bigger authority, who are dictating the terms. They are the one who are the leader. For me, everyone is leader. Those who are working on the shop floor, they are also leader because they are looking after their left and right people,
Actually, yeah, they are in the
Yeah.
front.
right?
Yeah, they are in the front
So
line.
a leader. I'll give you an example about this NVIDIA.
NVIDIA, yeah.
NVIDIA, Jensen, he's saying that for me, there is no hierarchy. 60 people are working for, they're reporting to me. I don't have a so-called status report. I don't believe in this one-on-one meeting. I would say if I don't like certain things, I will scream from my chair. I said, okay, this is what it has to go to everyone. Everyone should be on the same page. It's not that the information should be limited to a certain section of the leadership team, so-called. So therefore, the point I was trying to make is everyone is leader unless they prove it otherwise. So coming back to it has to be a democratic process where going into 2025, a leader, apart from setting up KPIs, apart from setting up process for and the vision for the next year, he has to ensure that he is not living in a ecosystem, a closed, knit team where his ideas are only shared with 2-3 people and not to the rest of the people in the organizations. So leadership is very important, and that leader has to work on the product development. If he is working in the product development, he has to tell that, okay, what are the new features he's looking at. He has to look at the innovations, and then what is the new thing that he's bringing to the tables. He has to promote creativity within his team. I mean, these are the new things. Like in 2025, everyone is talking about this AI. We all know for the last 2 years we are hearing about AI.
Bombarded by it,
most of the leaders are looking at, like, I need to understand this AI, how we can educate ourselves with this AI tools, and how that AI's technologies are going to help me in decision making, and automations.
One of the components of leadership, and this is what we train people for it, assertive and decision making.
Yes.
Even if the personal level, when you are in the personal level and you audited your 2024 and you
Correct.
said that you are not happy with the result of 2024, you need to be assertive. You need to reach that level of, like, no, I decide to do something different in 2025. So assertiveness is one of the components that it's not about title of leadership. It's like, can you be really assertive of what you need, what you want
Absolutely,
to do,
but
and decide. Decision making is one of the, how can I say, a lot of so-called leaders, or they claim themselves as leaders, they are so weak in making decisions.
I mean,
They don't do the homework for a proper decision making.
Absolutely.
And they are not assertive. That's why you see
Absolutely.
the culture in the company or in the personal level is like in the same loop.
I completely agree with you. What you're saying is that, because there are different leadership styles, and some of them, they sort of could be an autocratic leadership. But the things are, okay, whatever we think is the right approach, and they don't open up with their team. They don't. They think that, okay, this is one liner notes.
Yeah.
And then they go about it, and that's what, okay, fine. My team has to implement what I say. So it is not very collaborative approach. It is like, love me and love my dog approach.
Yeah. Me or my way or the highway.
My way or highways. Yeah.
This is also another style of
Yeah.
leadership. But for the listeners today, look at yourself and really assess your assertiveness and decision making. If your goal is to really perform better and winning 2025, you need to be assertive, and really you need to take a decision. You need to take the hard step. If you want to change, start changing yourself. And when, don't wait for the New Year resolution. Start now. You've got what, 21 days? Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, it's all about empowering your subordinates, empowering your team, having the trust on them is very important. Communications, as you said, is very important.
That's another one.
Yeah.
Communication is one of the
Delegation,
components that really misused.
Yeah, delegation is
Delegation
very
is something
important,
else as well. Yeah. Let's switch gears.
Yeah.
And this is, I was surprised when I discuss it with you.
What is that?
When I said, okay, everyone is looking to leave a legacy behind them.
Okay.
And you mentioned that you want to keep a legacy for your son. So part of the topic that we have discussed, we said, why don't you write a book? And you told me you have already a manuscript for one of the books.
Well, this is something...
Hang on. Hold your horses.
Okay.
Hold your horses.
All right. Okay.
And this has happened when you are what, 20 to 24 years old?
That's correct.
Guys, this is an interesting story. Please,
So,
what's the story of this book?
As we grow old, we all try to give back to the society.
Agree?
And once we have fulfilled our dream, we said, okay, those who are near and dear to us, they should also fulfill our dreams, or their dreams. And if you can be one of those catalysts in realizing those dreams, you think that you have lived a good life. So since you asked me about writing a book, that is a story, and I don't know if we have enough time to cover part of it, but when I started my career, we all were very rich by heart, but very poor by pocket.
Yes.
Right.
Obviously.
So because we are struggling, with a bigger salary, and we're trying to establish ourselves. At that point of time, I met a gentleman.
Hang on. Give us timelines. How old are you, and which year it was?
So it was 97, 98.
Okay.
And I got a job offer, and overnight I had to take a flight and join.
How old are you at that time?
23, 24.
Okay.
22, 23, yeah. And now everyone knows my age. Okay. So I was very excited about having a new job opportunities in a new city. Back in those years, in India, the Bangalore city was very popular. It was popular for style. It's a better lifestyle. And it was regarded as one of the Scotland of India, and now it is Silicon Valley of India. So back in late 90s, I was very excited with the youth exuberance. You always think that you are the smartest people, smartest guy in the
block.
In the block, and there is limitless thinking, and you can do anything, right?
Yes.
So I put my luggage next morning, and those years there was something called paying guest.
Paying guest.
The guest never pay, right? But this is like you pay and stay in.
Is it similar to Airbnb now?
Quite similar to Airbnb, but it is an era where the Airbnb was not there.
Yeah.
So I had a small rooms and with my luggage, and the next morning I said, let me get out for a walk. And I went out, and that area where I was living, there was a lot of celebrities were around. If those Indians who know Rahul Dravid, one of the legend, he used to live there. Then, but I suddenly bumped into a gentleman called Erapalli Prasanna.
Okay.
Erapalli Prasanna, for a cricket lover, he is one of the legendary figure who is regarded as one of the best exponent of off spin who have ever played in cricket. Okay, and if you go to Google's in YouTube, you find tons of videos on him. So in the morning, I found it, and then I was excited to see a celebrity. I said, "Hello, sir. I'm a great fan of yours." I said, "Oh, really?" I said, "Okay, fine." He didn't pay so much heed to it. I said, he thought I'm one of those.
You've been running, jogging, or you
I
went
was
to
jogging. I was
jogging?
jogging.
Okay.
I went to a coffee shop where he was there.
Okay.
I said that, and it was a fanboy moment for me. And then suddenly I disappeared. I went back and then went to office. Next day, I said, "Okay, let me see if I see him again."
Okay.
And the same time, somehow I will pretend to have some work there, and then and finally I met him again, and he was surprised to see me. I said, "What's your name?" I said, "My name is Vasant, and what do you do?" I said, "I work in IT field, PricewaterhouseCoopers." And I said, good to meet you. And then the story was over. And the next morning, again, I was waiting for my time. So in this way, again, I met him. Then this time I had a brief chat with him about the cricket and his time. And then the fourth day I didn't, maybe it was raining or somehow I didn't turn up. And the fifth day also I didn't turn up. I had some project work. Sixth day, again.
You went for a jog?
Jogging was one of the, you know.
The cheapest sport.
Yeah, cheapest sports. And this is one way of, it was an excuse to meet him actually.
Okay.
And then he said, "Yeah, I didn't see you for last 2 days." That
Interesting.
Yeah, that said, wow, this guy was also waiting for me. That was, I felt as if I'm slowly beginning to be recognized by him or beginning to be identified. And probably I'm building an equation with him. Sure, but then he said, "Let's have some tea." I said, "Fine, sir." I said, "But you don't have to pay, I'll pay." I said, "It's an honor to be, treated by a legend." So that's how, and then slowly I started discussing with him on various topics, including cricket. He said, "Why don't you come for dinner after 40 odd days?" I said, "Why don't you come for dinner at my place?"
So it took you 45 days to create a bond.
Yeah. And then slowly, he said, "Where do you stay?" I said, "I'm staying in your backyard as a paying guest." I said, "What?" It was a moment, see, I have nothing to lose. I was just trying to...
You pitched your sales pitch here.
I said, I'm just trying to find my ways in the big city. And, but then he said, "Come, I will introduce you to my wife." And slowly I became very close to him. And he said, "Why don't you stay with us?" So that way he treated me like his son. So within a matter of 60 days, I become so close to a legendary figure in Indian cricket.
Wow.
And as they say, the rest is a history. So he has shared every bits of cricketing moments with me. So during that time, he said, "Look, I'm getting old. Why don't you do something for me?" I said, "What? I'm a fresh graduate, sir. What I'm supposed to do for you? I'm living my fanboy moment."
What you used to call him and used to call you?
He used to call me Vash, and I used to call him Dada.
Dada.
Dada means big brother.
Okay.
And because I become so close to him,
Okay.
I cannot say father. So though he was a fatherly figure.
Yeah.
There I realized that what we see is there is more to it. Life is full of struggle, even for a legendary, cricketer.
Mhm.
So he said, why didn't you help me write a book? I said, writing a book? I am just writing my emails to my office.
There was no emails at that time, is it?
Yeah, it was the
Oh, the
internet.
beginning of the
Yeah,
emails.
in those years there was Lotus Note.
Oh, Lotus Note, yes,
Lotus
yes.
Note.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Guys, you will not understand what's so. Lotus Note is like
Yeah.
way old, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was Lotus Note, and we used to communicate through Lotus Note.
Okay.
So it was a bit surprising for me. And then I said, "This is a fanboy moment. Fashion, live as much as you want. This is a fanboy moment for you." He used to take me to this National Cricket Academy (NCA) in Bangalore. NCA, where all the budding cricketers used to come and play. I have seen all these current cricketers like Virat Kohli. When he was in teens, he used to come over there. Harbhajan Singh. I have seen a lot of people. Name a cricketer. I have been acquainted with them in those times.
Impressive.
But then, so he said the deal is, so to cut the story short, so he said, I want to publish a book. So why don't you help me? I said, I don't know any publisher. I said, you don't have to worry about the publishers. He said, you just to narrate my story.
Okay.
So I was kind of a ghost writer.
Okay.
Every morning he would say, okay, I will tell you one story, one episode, and you have to keep a note. In those years, I cannot jog with the notebook, right? So I had a Sony Ericsson phone, and
Okay.
I used to keep a note once in a while, but then something most in the memory, I'll go back to my room and write down. Briefly, I have covered his entire life story, and I have the manuscript, everything's,
Did you publish it?
I have not published yet because in between I couldn't connect with him because I left India. I went to UK and then
You left India before you published?
yeah.
So you finished the manuscript, and then
I
what
finished the
happened?
manuscript, everything, and then slowly because of different time zone, then because priority changing in my life. Things have changed, and I couldn't keep pace with the other things. As a result, what happened? I just couldn't publish the book. But those sweet experience of having a great time with PRASANNA is still has left an indelible mark in my life, and I will never forget each and every story that he has shared with me, and every story that I have penned in my life.
So you have the manuscript from which year?
98.
98?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and those time I have worked for BCCI. He said, why don't you make some presentations for BCCI in those years for listeners and those who are watching us. BCCI is one of the richest cricketing body in the world. Today they are the one who are dictating terms in the cricketing bodies. Because they have a IPL which is $30 billion.
It's like FIFA.
Yeah. But ICC is FIFA, but BCCI is a Board of Cricket Control of India. Okay.
Okay.
So BCCI, they have a brand called IPL, which is $30 billion brand.
Yes.
Okay. So it's the richest cricketing body. They are giving about 70% of the world cricket revenue to the ICC, and that is being distributed among other cricketing nations. So in those years, India had something called MRF Pace Foundations, which is for pace bowling. It may be a lot of things are new for you, but but for the listener, they would know.
I'm sure
PRASANNA told me that why don't we work on something, to tell BCCI to work on spin. Spin bowling was traditionally a strength of Indian team.
Okay.
Pace bowling was not, because only few Kapil Dev, Karshan Ghavri, some of those guys played for India. Otherwise, pace bowling. Now the new talent, they are all pace bowlers. But previously, only the spin bowlers were India's strength. Bishan Singh Bedi, Irapalli Prasanna, then Venkat Raghavan, Chandrasekhar, Bhagwat Chandrasekhar. They were those four quartet. They were the legends. So I met one of these gentlemen. So I said, okay. Then I created some slides for BCCI, which is called Spin Wing, in the same line as MRA Pace Foundation. So this was adopted by
Can we share some of these?
Yes, I can share with you. You can put out.
All right. Okay. We will share it with you guys.
So this was taken for board approvals when Jagmohan Dalmia was the BCCI president.
Interesting.
And it was adopted that, okay, a spin wing should be set up in Calcutta. So this is something I take with pride that I was one of the instrumental in advising BCCI.
Well, that's
and I tell you, but Nuggets, years after that event, when I was telling this story to my son, and son started Googling in his school, I said he found that those things were in public domain. I said I had never seen all this. I was just telling a story. I thought no one knows.
You need to start putting your book together, man.
I'm thinking about it now. Prasanna is 85 years old, and I have reestablished connection for last 2 years. I'm in touch with him. I'm thinking about doing something now, though it's late, but
late better than nothing.
Better than nothing. So
I mean,
it is at least I have something better than the blank page, right?
What better way to give back for the legend?
Of course, he is.
I mean, obviously have affected your life at that 60 days you have.
Yeah, in those years when you are young, you know that you have dream, you have a mountain to climb. You think that I can do anything and everything. These celebrities, they act as a guiding force for you, and you think that okay, you belong to that league. Though inside me, I thought I don't belong to that league, but he used to take me to every legends, every celebrity in India, and I was feeling at ease. I was not feeling very nervous about speaking to legendary figures.
24 years old you've been.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, man. Nobody gets that chance like this.
Yes, and that is one of the things that why I don't feel nervous when I meet ministers and big celebrities. Is that I have seen all this.
In a very
very early.
Very
in that way, I was very fortunate to have Hopna being with who's and who's of that era.
Well, Vasant, again, time of this episode has been over. Thank you very much for sharing your insights. And again, you left us with some motivation and some inspired stories to look for.
Well, we're all looking for some inspirational figure where we can get motivated. We all look for a role model. You would not believe, even today, I always look for someone who can guide me to be a better person, who can be my role model for the next 50 years if I survive.
So if somebody wants to reach out to you for kind of an inspiration.
Well, I'm very active in Twitter, or now it's X, Facebook.
Yes. We will share your social
yes.
on the description of this video, so everyone looking for some kind of an inspiration, they can reach out for you. Vasant, I know you are traveling this weekend. Wish you a safe trip.
Thank you very much.
And you have give us some opportunity again for us and the listeners to hear your takes on some of the questions. And you shared the story of a book.
Always pleasure meeting you. Always pleasure meeting you. And thanks for giving me another opportunity to be a part of your guest.
It's a pleasure.
And I really look forward to continuing our discussion even in future.
Inshallah. Thank you for all our listeners today. And if you found the value of today's episode, please don't forget to like it, subscribe, and share it with people who look for really inspiration stories from the real life. And until next time, I would say keep striving for excellence and plan to win 2025. I'll see you on the next episode. Bye. Thank you, Vasant.
Thank you very much. Thank you.